Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. We'll start in a couple of minutes. Okay. So in the previous class, we had most of the students were not able to join on time due to another class. So I think few students they are left behind. I think there are a good number of students. So what we'll do is we will do a revision of this respiratory chapter, very quick revision for today's class. And in the next class what we can do is we can go for some question answer kind of thing. Okay, so that in the next class we will have some PDF one that I will be sharing with you, and during the class itself, first half you can solve the question and second half we will discuss the answer. We can do that one. So today what we will do is we will revise this chapter quickly, and so that it is not very boring, so we will just go for a little bit of only imaged and video based, we will go for the okay. So respiratory system. So the basics of the respiratory system, which includes what is respiration, aerobic, anaerobic respiration, this we have covered also in the previous chapter, and also I think for all the classes we have covered again. So what we will have to focus in this particular chapter is what are the parts, okay, involved in this respiratory system, as well as the process, okay, that is the inhalation exhalation process, how the exchange of the gases is taking place. Okay, exchange of gases in the alveoli, this is the extremely important part. Okay, so for the next 5 minutes you will be watching a video, okay, for this respiratory system, that is going to summarize, okay, that whatever we have covered, most of them will be summarized. It will be useful in visualization. Okay, so now we can start the are you able to get the audio?
No, sir, the audio is off. No.
Okay,
Can you send out the link?
yeah, the link I have already given in the top. Okay, this one is already mentioned in the, okay, top one. So it is quite self-explanatory. Okay, so the audio is not so important. Also, you can just visualize. So here the process of breathing is being explained in this animation. So basically what we are looking at here is the thoracic cavity. So this chest cavity is known as the thoracic cavity. Okay, so the respiratory, all these lungs and all are safe inside the rib cage, and below we have the diaphragm. Okay, the lungs, there is the left lung and right lung. So whereas this right lung is having these three parts, okay, subdivided into three parts. The left lung is smaller in size and has two parts. Okay, that is because part of it is also occupied by the heart here. Okay, this is the trachea, which is dividing into the bronchi. Okay, the first division is the bronchi, and this trachea, it should not collapse, therefore there is a cartilage ring is there, that is giving it the support. Now the pharynx is the region, okay, through the nostril we are taking the air entering into the nasal chamber, from the nasal chamber enters into the pharynx, Okay, from the pharynx it is going far, that is into the trachea, trachea to the bronchi. Okay, then once it has entered into the bronchi, it will subdivide again into smaller tubes. Okay, the smaller tubes, the bronchi is known as the bronchioles. Okay, and ultimately it will reach into these kind of pockets, air pockets, that are known as alveoli, which are covered by this capillaries. So what we are seeing here is that inside the capillaries, which are so thin, RBC is flowing inside, right? These cells are flowing, and these blue dots that we are seeing are the oxygen which will diffuse through that membrane, and it can be taken up by the RBC. Okay, so initially this is being shown in blue. This is only for visualization purpose. It is shown in blue. That means it is the deoxygenated blood, and as that it is taking more and more oxygen, it is turning into the red color. Okay, it is getting more oxygenated, and also it is losing the carbon dioxide. If at all it is having any carbon dioxide, that also is going away. Okay, so it entered as a deoxygenated blood, and now it is coming out as the oxygenated blood. So that is the gas exchange has taken place, and whatever that carbon dioxide has escaped from that hemoglobin, it can go back through these bronchioles, bronchi, trachea. Okay, and can be exhaled outside. So in this way, that one inspiration and expiration cycle is taking place. Below this diaphragm, it helps a lot in this respiratory process. When we are inhaling, okay, then it expands, the lungs will expand, then the diaphragm will go down. Now you see the diaphragm is going up, so what will happen? We will exhale the air outside. We are exhaling the air outside. So the position of the diaphragm is upwards, that means exhalation taking place. It is relaxed, that means we are going to generate a negative pressure in the lungs, and the air will be taken inside, that is the inspiration. Okay, so summarize. So basically all this respiratory structure is there in the rib cage. Below is the diaphragm, which is going to help in creating that negative pressure. Then there is the pleural membrane. The pleural membrane is going to protect the lungs. Okay, there is also the pleural fluid. Okay, this is the right lung, which is having the 3 lobes. The left lung is having the 2 lobes. It is a bit smaller. Okay, and then the air that is entering through the trachea divides into this bronchi. Okay, this is the trachea. Air entering through the nose, enter into the nasal cavity to pharynx, pharynx to trachea. Okay, so in between that larynx was there. Larynx is only the voice box. So here it is entered into again the bronchi, bronchioles, alveoli. In the alveolus, okay, alveoli singular, there are the capillaries where the exchange of the gases will take place with the RBC. Okay, so oxygen will be taken up by the RBC, and carbon dioxide will be released into this alveoli. It will go back into the air. So the blood that is coming as a deoxygenated form is getting oxygenated in the process. From the pulmonary artery, once it is oxygenated, it is coming out as the pulmonary vein. Okay. So in this way we can look at this animation to understand that how the respiratory exchange of the gas is taking place. Okay, so the same thing is summarized here. Okay, this is the one of the most important parts of this chapter. Okay, so the air is entering through what? Pulmonary artery. Okay,
Sir, your
so
mic is
pulmonary
on.
artery is having the, okay, Okay. I, if at all you were speaking, I was not able to listen to your voice earlier. But yes, I think now I should be getting your voice. So the you have any doubts? You can ask. My voice is coming through. I am audible. Okay. So during the animation, you were able to listen my voice.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Oh, thank God. I thought it got muted there itself. Okay. Very good. Any doubts you have in that one? You all of you followed. Okay. So we will move on to the. We will just move on to the next one. That is the blood is entering through the pulmonary artery. Okay. Pulmonary artery is what kind of blood? Oxygenated, deoxygenated, deoxygenated. Okay. And this is the entry, and it will go through this capillary, okay, which is only single cell thick. Gas exchange can take place because it is so thin, and it will come out as the pulmonary vein, okay, which is nothing but the oxygenated blood. Okay. So because the ultimate process here in the lungs is that we want to oxygenate the blood, so here it has entered as a deoxygenated and it is coming out as a oxygenated, and here it can enter into the heart for the circulation. Okay. So what are the different parts here? We can see one is the outside is the capillary, inside is the RBC, and this air cavity inside, this one is the alveoli. Okay, alveoli. Even the alveoli also, you are seeing that the membrane is a single cell. Okay, single cell thickness membrane is there. Okay. So how this exchange is taking place? By the process of diffusion. It is taking place by the process of diffusion. Okay. Next, this also we saw that when the diaphragm is pushed upwards, then we will exhale, and when the ribs expand and the diaphragm goes downwards, then we are going to inhale. Okay. And there are the different another muscle that is known as the intercostal muscle. Okay. Intercostal muscle is going to also help in the movement of this ribs. Okay. So intercostal, inter COSTAL, intercostal muscle. So when we are inhaling, then the intercostal muscles are going to contract in such a way that the ribs will be pulled away, so they will expand. Okay. So that is one small thing that has to be remembered. Okay. Otherwise most of these things you are able to visualize and understand. Okay. Another important part of this chapter is the lung capacity. Okay. Lung capacity. So lung capacity, the total lung capacity of an adult is about 6 liters. Okay. Out of these 6 liters, 1.5 liters is not used. Okay. 1.5 liters is not used. Why it is not used? Because that is the air that is present in the trachea and the bronchi and the bronchioles. Okay. So this part is not going to remain, like it is not exchanging. So that is something that you cannot completely exhale outside. So that is known as the residual volume. Okay. So if we subtract the residual volume from the total volume, what is left is the vital capacity. Okay, that is the important one that is going to exchange. Okay, that is coming to 4.5 liters. Within this vital capacity, only 0.5 liters, that is the 500 ml, only 0.5 liters we are actually breathing in and breathing out. Each time we breathe in half liter, breathe out half liter, that's all. Okay, that is going on in a unconscious, without our conscious effort, it is going on involuntary. Okay, so that is known as the tidal volume. Okay, tidal volume, 500 ml in, 500 ml out. But when we inhale, when we take a deep breath, then what happens? The total capacity of that lung is known as the ins. Okay, we'll see. Okay, now so okay. So when we take a deep breath, then what happens? That the air that we are able to take in extra is 3 liters in a deep breath. Okay, that extra that we are able to breathe in is known as the inspiratory reserve volume. Okay, it is a reserve, we don't use always. Okay, and we are breathing inside inspiration, so inspiration reserve volume 3 liters. Okay, the total we use from this inspiratory reserve volume and the tidal volume is known as the inspiratory capacity. Okay, that is coming to 3.5 liters. Okay, the expiratory reserve volume, okay, this is a reserve we don't always use. At the same time, when we are expiring outside, we don't always forcefully expire. But if you forcefully expire and try to empty your lungs, the maximum you will be able to do is roughly 1 liter. Okay, so that is a reserve, that is known as the expiratory reserve volume. Okay, next, this tidal volume itself is divided into two parts. Okay, one is the alveolar and one is the dead. Okay, so in the alveolar volume, that is, as the name suggests, that is the air contained in the air sac. Okay, alveolar, alveolar. Okay, the other is the dead air space. Okay, so obviously dead air space is the one that is there in the tubes. Okay, that is then the bronchioles. Okay, bronchioles and all. So in this way, these are the different terms. Okay, so using this particular graph, okay, the questions may be asked like this particular